So there's only a couple things you need to understand about factoring quadratics in the form of x squared plus bx plus c. And really just a couple things you need to understand or kind of know or think about when you're trying to factor. And the main thing I like to separate this into is, are you dealing with a sum or are you dealing with a difference? Now, how do you know the difference? Like how do you know the difference between those two? And the difference is going to be your c. When you're dealing with a positive c, you're dealing with a sum. When you're dealing with a negative c, you're going to be dealing with a difference. Now, I can go ahead and talk about this like with all these number or variables, but I think it's much easier just to deal with this when I'm talking about actual numbers. So let's go and take a look at an example here. If I have x squared plus 8x plus 7, that is a positive c. See my last number? That's positive. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking about a sum. Now, you might have been thinking, what sum are you talking about? I'm talking about the sum of the factors. Now, we're doing an easy one. We're doing an easy problem because I just want to really highlight this thinking that I want you to approach when you're trying to factor a trinomial. So let's take the factors of 7, all right? So the factors of 7, we have two options. We have 7 times 1, right? 7 times 1 gives you 7, as well as a negative 7 times a negative 1. That's it, right? We're keeping this one fairly basic. Whenever I see my last value, my c is positive, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, what are the factors of that c? And then I'm going to be adding them to get to my middle term, okay? So now let's go and take a look at my middle term. My middle term in this case, you can see is a positive 8. So what factors make sense to add? Positive 7 plus positive 1 or negative 7 plus negative 1? Well, hopefully you recognize it's going to be a positive 7 plus positive 1. So guess what? That is going to be my factored form. X plus 7 times an x plus 1. Now let's go and do another example. What if I had an x squared, in this case now, negative 8x plus 7? Again, look at the last number. When you see the last number is positive, think sum. All right, so now I'm going to take my factors of 7, 7 and 1, and I need to add them to get to my middle term, right? So I'm going to be adding the factors to get to my middle term. But since my middle term now is negative, I know my two factors have to both be negative, right? So negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. Negative 7 plus a negative 1 is going to be a negative 8. So this one is going to be an x minus 7 times a x minus 1. And voila. So now let's go and take a look at the difference. So what happens when we have our last number is going to be a negative? What that's going to tell you now is now you need to find the difference between your two factors, right? So the sum of two factors is kind of easy. You just think about adding your two factors. Doesn't matter if they're both positive or both negative. You're just adding them. That's the number that you're trying to find. Now, a lot of times I just tell students to disregard thinking about positive or negative. You're still just combining those terms and then just look at the middle term if it's positive or negative. But when you're dealing with the difference, things can get sometimes a little bit more tricky, okay? You do need to kind of consider that positive and negative of your middle term a little bit more closely when you think about your factors. So let's go and take a look at an example. If I have an x squared plus a 6x minus a 7. All right, so I see this last number, and immediately when I see this last number, what I'm thinking to myself is, all right, I'm subtracting my factors, right? So my factors of 7 are 7 and 1. So I have to subtract them. Obviously, 7 and 1 give me a difference of 6, but I have to subtract them to get a positive 6. And now let's look at our options. So we have we have a negative 7, right? So I could do a negative 7 times 1, or I could do a positive 7 times a negative 1. Now, again, like sometimes you can think about this as adding, right? You could think of like negative 7 plus 1 is a negative 6. I just like to think about it as a difference. So it's either we're taking a 1 minus a 7, or we're doing a 7 minus a 6. Now, which one of those, 7 minus 6, that's a 7 minus 1, I meant to say. So when you're thinking about this as a difference, now you're subtracting them, right? So I don't like to worry about like which one's negative, which one's positive. I just like to like subtract my two factors. Just think about them in that positive version. Which one of them, when you are subtracting them, which one of them is going to give you a positive 6? Well, 1 minus 7 gives me a negative 6, right? So that's not going to work. And 7 minus 1 is going to give me a positive 6. So yeah, that works. So a 7 minus 1, again, is really the same thing as a 7 plus a negative 1. So I guess it's still, and I think that's why a lot of students sometimes get confused with this, because like you can think about the difference, but when we're writing them as a factored, like you can also kind of think about that as the sum of negative numbers. So my 7 is going to be positive and my 1 is going to be negative. So now I can write this as a x plus 7 times an x minus 1, right? Because again, we're doing 7 minus 1, or you can think of it as 7 plus a negative 1. So let's go and take a look at another example. What if I had this as a x squared minus a 6x minus 7, okay? Again, last number is negative, but my middle term is now negative. So now, like 7 minus 1, right, it's not going to work, but 1 minus 7, right, or 1 plus a negative 7, right, 1 minus 7 or 1 plus a negative 7, right, it's going to give me a difference of -6. So now I can say that my 1 is positive and my 7 will be negative. So therefore, this factor form would be an x minus 7 times a x plus 1. One important thing I always want to bring up to students, whenever we're checking factoring, especially when you're checking your work with trinomials, remember, you can always multiply your answer back. So these problems can be very confusing for a lot of students, right? Even though this is a fairly basic problem, factoring can be difficult. So whenever you're trying to do this, don't just rush off and be like, oh, I got the answer, I did it in my head, because you're more likely to make mistakes if you are, or if you're not just like having at least a mental check or a way to be able to verify if your answer is correct or, or incorrect. So again, just remember, you can always multiply your numbers back. Like, let's just make sure that this is going to give us this term. And again, like I always like to, sometimes I don't even write it out, but I do like to do the mental check, right? X times x is x squared. And then the last two terms should be positive. -7 times -1. That's going to give me a positive 7. Now my inner and my last better add up to a -8x, right? So that's a -7x, and that's a minus a 1x. And then obviously -7x minus 1x, like you owe me $7, you borrow one more dollar, you owe me $8, right? So that's an x squared minus a 8x plus 7. You can see how that works. In this case, again, we can check our work. Multiply your first two terms, right? That gives you an x squared. Multiply your last two terms. -7 times +1 is a -7, which is exactly what I needed. And then now -7 times x is a -7x, right? And then x times 1 is going to be a positive x. So now you can see here, I have a x squared minus a 6x minus a 7. Quick way to be able to just verify your answers, always check your work. But again, if you can understand the difference when you're trying to do this by the sum versus the difference, and then knowing what you're looking for your factoring or for your factors of your C, it's going to help you be able to factor much faster, easier, and more correct. So more precisely. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.